They've taken the world by storm with their screams, and for many, they've taken on heroine status as feminist icons. And they managed to do this all while bleeding everywhere and screaming for their lives. We're talking about Scream Queens. Not the show, but the actual ladies themselves. We're kicking off the Halloween season by counting down our top 5 Scream Queens here on Geek Bomb. Number 5. Janet Leigh. The OG Scream Queen Janet Leigh won a Golden Globe and got an Oscar nom for her role as Marion Crane in Psycho. And I mean, can we talk about how iconic her role in this film is? The shower scene, those screams, the Hitchcockiness of it all. With so much talent and Scream Queen stardom, Leigh's legacy lives on in her films, in cinema as a whole, and in our next pick. Number 4. Jamie Lee Curtis. If you didn't already know, Jamie Lee Curtis is the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. So you could say horror royalty is in her blood. She and her mom even appeared together in The Fog and in Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Jamie Lee Curtis has played Laurie Strode in the Halloween film franchise across 5 different decades, from the 70s to the 2010s. Talk about Scream Queen goals right there. Funnily enough though, horror films actually terrify Jamie Lee Curtis and she prefers not to watch them. We're glad though that she put on a brave face and kept reprising her role as Laurie, the epitome of a strong heroine. Number 3. Heather Langenkamp. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Well, okay, he's not really, but he did come for Nancy Thompson, aka Heather Langenkamp in Nightmare on Elm Street. Heather kicked off the Nightmare series like a freaking rock star and had us rooting for her like nobody's business. Her frustrations were our frustrations, and her screams were our screams. Her nightmares were our nightmares. You get the picture. Thanks for being an absolute queen, Heather. Number 2. Neve Campbell. I have a question for you guys.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Some of ours definitely include the Scream saga and Neve Campbell's iconic character, Sidney Prescott. Although Neve isn't a huge fan of the horror genre because, like Jamie Lee Curtis, she's frightened by all things spooky, her fears didn't stop her from becoming one of the most iconic Scream queens in modern cinema after starring in the original Scream in 1996. What's amazing about Sidney's character in the Scream saga is that we get to grow with Sidney and honestly, learn to face our fears. Number 1. Vera Farmiga. Moviegoers everywhere first started calling Vera a Scream Queen when she starred in Joshua, Orphan, Bates Motel, The Conjuring, and The Conjuring 2. And boy, is her status very well deserved. Vera conveys so much trauma and strength in her eyes that it makes the films and television shows she leads that much more intense. Unlike Jamie Lee and Neve, Vera loves the horror genre and even calls herself a fan of Roman Polanski's film Repulsion and Rosemary's Baby. Fun fact, Taissa Farmiga, Vera's younger sister, was in the recently released film The Nun and has appeared in 3 seasons of American Horror Story. Sounds like the Farmiga family tree has 2 Scream Queens in it. And those are our top 5 Scream Queens. Who are your faves? Who did we miss? Let us know in the comments and tag your horror movie loving friends. I'm Amy and I'll see you bombers later.